What's up gamers, Dreamcastguy here, talking today about two of my favorite topics that have suddenly combined into one video, which is PlayStation 5 leaks and apparently a new Silent Hill game that doesn't really involve Konami. This is going to be a completely new project in a new direction that's trying to essentially restart the universe, and I am just so thrilled about this. Now, I'm a big fan of horror. I love survival horror, I love psychological horror, I just love good scares, and Silent Hill is definitely one of the biggest classics of it. Their games are so freaking phenomenal at managing to get inside your mind, to play with the idea of nightmares. They're just so good at trying to execute on the idea of distrustful terror. I am so curious to see what happens next, so I started prowling around Twitter and I saw the newest tweets by Dusk Golem. Now, I have reported on Dusk Golem in the past. This is a dude who is also a huge lover of all things creepy, and he's also somebody with a lot of different strange connections in the industry. I'm not sure exactly what Dusk Golem does, but he definitely is managing to dig up a lot of clues and details about stuff before you're actually supposed to know it. Well, last night, he randomly dropped these 6 very cryptic tweets detailing a bunch of stuff about apparently an exclusive PlayStation 5 reboot of Silent Hill. Now let's read exactly what he said and break this down because there is actually a ton of details in these tweets. Just to clear up some things about Silent Hill PS5 from what I know. 100% things. In 2018, Konami shopped around with different studios for 2 pitches to fund development of a reboot and an episodic Silent Hill game. I knew this from a personal friend and an email from someone separately. Neither got the job, but I know this as a fact. In late 2019, a separate close friend in Japan informed me a Silent Hill game was being developed in Japan that had started dev at the start of 2019, which means at this point, because he says this is the 100% fact, that means, as crazy it is to think about, they are now a full year and a half into making this new Silent Hill game, which we're going to go more into a second, but already this gets me excited. Most games take about 3 to 4 years to develop, which means that this game is probably coming along at a very, very good pace. Now, I started doing some personal investigation from this. A lot of dead ends, but others corroborated this, and I did learn about something else, which helped later, but I promise not to talk about. So a little bit mysterious there. I separate this part of the story as all of this stuff I can verify 100%. The rest I believe and have shown evidence, but the following I have evidence to believe, but I can't verify the details, but is from someone who would know and I verified their identity. So basically what he's saying is that everything now is from a good source that he knows, but it might be slightly off. But here is where the really, really specific stuff comes out that is the reason I am so freaking hyped. Alright, so here we go. So to lay into the details to put this straight, it is developed by Sony Japan Studios and will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Now, Sony Japan Studios has been involved in a lot of different projects that I'm sure you know about, like Ape Escape. A lot of these people have done things like Gravity Rush, Patapon, and of course the masterpiece Knack. These are people that are definitely involved in a lot of the more fringe projects over at PlayStation, and that's kind of why I'm curious about this. Now, going back to his tweet here, Toyama is directing. Akira Yaomoka is composing, which is the guy who's done a bunch of the original music for the Silent Hill games. Well, so that's going to be fantastic. Masahiro Ito is doing the art, which is fantastic. This is the guy who did a lot of the drawings and concepts and monster design and stuff for all of the original Silent Hill games. Like, this guy, Ito, is the person who literally drew Pyramid Head into existence. All the nightmares you have of this guy is because of this gentleman in Japan who managed to create him. Various Siren and Gravity Rush developers and some others are working on it. Yes, I'm trying not to lose my mind. Siren is a game that is so freaking underrated. This is such a spooky, creepy game. One of the main things is this is a Japanese horror game that takes place in Japan, where basically you're trying to play as a series of characters escaping after this this blood curse drives a bunch of people crazy. The main thing that made it interesting is that you have this special ability where you could see through the eyes of the monsters. So you could actually jump in and look around the levels, and sometimes people being beaten or eating human flesh. I mean, the game is spooky creepy. The best part about it, though, is definitely the environments. The fact that they're bringing on people from that team for Silent Hill, this sounds like it's going to be so freaking dark. Already just hearing the team, I am so freaking hyped. But now, going back to his tweet, trying to calm myself down, I'm so excited for this. This has nothing to do with Kojima or Silent Hills. That is probably not happening. Unfortunate, but I think we all kind of realize that. I mean, just the professional ties of Kojima right now have eroded so much. Kojima's over there doing his own thing, working on Death Stranding and stuff. I don't think that guy's going to be doing anything else outside of his own studio for a long time. Sony is not buying IPs. That is BS. Now, this is a big rumor that's been going around a lot, and it's just, somebody has been saying that since Microsoft is going around and buying studio after studio after studio, there has been a very pervasive legend in the industry that Sony is about to do the same thing, that Sony is going to try and just roll up and purchase brands, purchase series. And one of the ones that's been going around is that Sony was just going to walk in and purchase Silent Hill to make it where Silent Hill games will only exist on the PlayStation. Well, Dusk Golem is finally shooting that rumor down and saying, nope, there will be PlayStation 5 exclusives, but probably not a lot of franchises that will only live on the PS5 and PS6. This game is not a remake. It is a soft reboot, made so it can be someone's first Silent Hill game. Yes, this is the best part. Honestly, this is the thing that I think is going to lead to its biggest success. Over the last couple of years, we've seen this big rise of soft reboots, games that are made to be the most accessible. Things like Final Fantasy 15 was fully intended to be a soft reboot. It was supposed to be accessible to new fans. Same with God of War. Remember God of War 2018? There's a reason they just called it God of War. They wanted this to be a game where if you played the classics, you'd have a blast. You'd be able to get even more lore and enjoyment out of it, but somebody like me who didn't even like God of War in the past could play the new game and absolutely love it. It sounds like what they realized is, okay, Silent Hill hasn't been around for a while. The last couple Silent Hills, even as a Silent Hill fan, I can admit that the last couple things sucked. Downpour was kind of a travesty. Silent Hills was a cool demo, but the game never came out. Even some stuff's totally forgotten now, like Book of Secrets. Nobody even remembers the fact that there was a multiplayer Diablo ripoff of Silent Hill that came out. I think that Konami, if they're just giving this brand to Sony, at this point they realize that to do this right, you gotta press the restart button. The game is playable and has a demo that is being shown around after the reveal. The details of this are not murky. There should be no miscommunication. Just wanted to lay that all out. If true, I believe it though. Okay, so what he's saying there basically is that the game is in a very, very finalized state as of now. It probably has like an alpha, parts of it you can run around in and be frightened by, and this basically is them saying that they're going to be showing it off as a way to try and demo it right now. And maybe there'll be trade shows, maybe at like the PlayStation Experience 2020, if that's possible. Maybe we'll get a chance to really go and see a demo itself. What if that's one of the things? What if, oh my god, I just thought of something as I'm filming this. What if when you buy a PlayStation 5, you know how when PlayStation 4 came out, they had a bunch of free indie games, and then they were selling like big games like, Killzone, Shadowfall and stuff. What if this time they release a bunch of their big launch titles, and one of the things they have is day one, what if there's a demo for Silent Hill? Oh my gosh, that's so exciting to me, especially if it's a big chunky demo. Right now this is obviously just speculation and rumors. Dusk Golem is a very good source and his leaks are pretty freaking concrete, but this is still something that is unconfirmed as of now. I decided to look into this stuff a little bit separate from Dusk Golem. I did some own research and kind of asked some people, and everybody sort of said the same thing, which is Dusk Golem talks too much. That's the thing that somebody said. Dusk Golem talks too much. And I think what they're trying to say is they're basically saying he knows stuff, he knows more than he's supposed to know, and he should probably zip his lips shut. But I'm saying that as a fan of this, I'm glad that Dusk Golem won't stop talking. Please keep tweeting details, keep leaking stuff out, keep telling me reasons that I should be hyped about Silent Hill and Resident Evil 8. This has been a fun day. I just wanted to fanboy. I apologize for this random video. I'm just so freaking excited. Even now as I think about it, I get more and more and more hyped. Bring back Silent Hill. Cut out Konami. Give us a reason to just love the scares once again. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Honestly, I'm going to show you something real quick. Look at this. I have all the Silent Hill soundtracks from Japan. Look at this. Somebody sold them to me for $1 each. I have absolutely no regrets. I love the Silent Hill soundtrack so much, even though my cases are all cracked up. These games are so spooky. The fact that they're bringing back the artists, the composers, man, this may be Silent Hill done right. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.